Hey guys, this is a different part of the city, a place called Phu Nguyen in Saigon, so I figured I'd just kind of give you guys a little bit of a peek of where I'm at. So there's like an area in here. It's kind of quiet, so I didn't really want to disturb everyone, so I figured I'd come out here. It might be a little bit noisy with all the street traffic. There was something I was looking into this morning, and I wanted to share it. And a concept I think was really interesting. I haven't been able to do the type of research I'd like on it, but I went ahead and I set up an account with this dex.top. I'm not sure how well you guys are going to be able to see this. Probably not very well at all because of the reflection. It's basically a decentralized exchange on a smart contract, and reading some of the information on how this is set up is pretty interesting. Like I especially liked this part right here. Probably I'm not going to be able to see this too well. This is a low gas cost. So the smart contract is designed the gas cost of sending an Ethereum transaction as low as possible. Dex.top batches orders on the order book to further reduce gas costs to a minimum. Moreover, unfulfilled pending canceled orders do not include gas costs on our platform. So I thought that was kind of an interesting aspect, because one of the things we're seeing right now, like I just sent over several transactions, and the gas prices have really, like for me to kind of send in a timely manner, it's like 10 GUI now. So that ends up being like 50 cents. There's ones that if the network is really bogged down, it can be more expensive to transact, and that makes it more difficult to make it kind of scalable for things like microtransactions. And the ability to combine different transactions to lower gas prices in kind of the framework of a decentralized exchange on a smart contract is a really interesting concept. And so there's an article on Bitcoin.com. I have the link in the description below, but it goes into this a little bit more. So they talk a little bit about and this what was this? This was not too long ago, 7 hours ago. This article just kind of came out, and it's talking about this dex.top and kind of what it is. And so like for me, like this is something kind of new and interesting, and it's different, and so I wanted to kind of get involved in it. So there's not a whole lot of actual trading pairs, but this is see if I can get in here. This was like the account that I have here. So you can see like Zilliqua, which I've been getting spammed a lot on my YouTube channel by that, and the Telegram ICO. Like I get a lot of spam with that for whatever reason. Loom, KNC, and Ethereum. So there's not a whole lot. I think this is still kind of slow to progress. Like I guess they had plans to launch this exchange later in the month. I'm not sure kind of what phase this is in, if there's going to be more pairs that are going to be added, but you can see the exchange. So like I think one of the things I wanted to do, like I have to bring some in my balance, and so like I'm going to want to deposit here. It's going to pick up what's in my what's tied to my account. So like I'll send over like, I don't know, 100. Oh, there goes my battery. So you can see like the transaction comes up. And right now it's at 16 GUI, which is $1.09 in terms of like the transaction fee. You can see here. So the gas prices are just pretty high right now. And this is going to be a limitation for Ethereum. Like, I'm wondering if I can just bring this up. like this is still such a new kind of thing that's been happening in the cryptocurrency space, and it's, yeah, I mean, it's just really maxed out right now. So this is ETH gas station. So if you guys ever are looking for a place to check gas prices, if you're having, you know, like unusually high gas prices in here, this is a good one to check out. Right now it's like at 10, and it has like some charts that's kind of maxed out. So my battery's dead, my screen's dirty. It's not a good place to really talk in there. It's just a little bit too quiet. But I'm gonna go ahead and just send this through, I guess. It's not really what I wanted to pay in terms of gas prices, but 16 GUI, fuck it. But I wanted to at least just kind of bring that to you guys' attention. I think it's an interesting concept. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. As far as like my accounts, like today for like the smart contracts, as I've been kind of going over and documenting my process with that. Let's make this a little bit brighter. Okay, I think this will work a little bit better. Okay, so for today, I made 116, and the only ones I'm counting here, this is proof of weak hands. This is the proof of Trevon James, which I ended up getting a small payout in this time. So like the payouts have kind of been like sporadic, and again, like I'm only adding it if it's like more than 10 bucks because of the gas prices and whatnot. The biggest one was the CG Now, which like I've had some pretty big payouts in CG Now. This one is a little bit more due to a lot of ETH exiting the contract. So that, you know, in turn, you know, provides some, you know, some dividends. But let me see here if I can bring this up. Bear with me one sec. So the volume here, I'm gonna have to do this a little bit differently. This has gotten to in the mid-month. I got to change this around. Bear with me one sec. It's hot out here. Okay, so you guys can see this a little bit better. So I gotta do like a mid-month like marker. So like these are the volumes. So like proof of weak hands today has come up a little bit. And part of that is kind of like, you know, the balances of these contracts losing a little bit, and that's kind of documented here. So in the ones that I'm covering, we can see that the total is 6102, which dropped, you know, another 100, a little bit over 100. So a lot of these contracts are coming down. So the proof of Trevon James lost a lot from 355 to 277. You can see CG Now is down quite a bit. Yeah, the Atom Hole one, that's not one I got into, but it went up to like 50 ETH for a time, and then there was some issues and some problems, and you know, the whole thing came down. So still 3 contracts other than proof of weak hands that are holding more than 100 in balances, but this has kind of been a little bit of a trend. We've been seeing more ETH exit these contracts. The daily active users have roughly been about the same, so you can see kind of, you know, across the board, most of these haven't changed much. So it's a lot of the same people that are still in these smart contracts. And I think what it's going to take is more innovation in the space to drive volume into some of those contracts. So there's a lot of projects coming out. Like I would probably anticipate that we're still going to see things come down a little bit. Like I don't know how much this is really, like I feel like a lot of contracts have kind of bottomed out. Like, to give you an example of that, I'm kind of looking at PoWH, which was trending pretty high before. You can see like it really hit like, bring my cursor right here. It hit 38. You can see PoWH hit 38, and this was like 5 days ago. Came up to like 41. It's kind of been holding that, you know, but hasn't really been doing a whole lot of volume. Like all of these ones are really not doing very much at all. And really the volume has been kind of centered in these two. There have been a little bit of volume in Craig Grant now, and that alone has kind of helped with some of the dividend payouts that have been generated from that platform. Because that one, because of the higher percentages, has been one that I've been doing pretty well on. I'm checking with the chat a little bit. PoWH. PoWH is already working to POS system powered by the blockchain for the crypto card. Yeah, I think their website looks really good. Like they got a lot of projects in the works where I think that one's going to be a good one. That's been trending really high in the decentralized exchanges. But this other one I wanted to kind of go over was this Loom one. So Loom was one that it's been in a few, like if you look at kind of like where it's being traded, it's been in Binance and Qcoin, you know, coin. It's been in a few different ones of the IDX, you know, recently, you know, and it's come up here really in May. You know, volume's kind of, you know, tapered down. It's kind of holding this right here, but this is an interesting project. So it's kind of like online games and social apps. And so you can kind of look through here a little bit. The way I'm kind of looking at it is like it gives you the ability to do more decentralized apps. And so this one looks interesting. I think it's got some potential. Zilliqua, this is one that has really it's surprised me. It's come up this high as 25, because this one was, you know, not that high, not too long ago. You can kind of see with the charts, like it's come up quite a bit here, April, May, and you know, I don't know if some of that has to do with a lot of the spamming that I was getting. I was getting a lot of spamming on. You know, from Zilliqua, and then the other one, see if I can bring that up, was the Telegram. Yeah, but that's more in the ICO phase, so it's not gonna pull on CoinMarketCap. Nexo is this one that's on. Let's take a Nexo. Looks pretty new. Like just started May 2nd. IDX, hit BTC, Ether Delta, Stocks Exchange. So this one's really being traded. And I think I remember seeing that like when I was looking at IDX, when I was looking at like the volume in this exchange. ICO was 10 cents. What's it at now? 24. Internet's a little slow. Yeah, but it's number 5 on IDX. So, like this is one I didn't know as much about. This Zebi one, I was looking at that one a little bit. But this Matrix AI, PoWH, hot. These three right here, I like these three. Charter, that one's, I gotta look into that one probably a little bit. But I would say, like, I think that getting into some of these coins that are doing really well on some of these decentralized exchanges, I think that's, I think those coins have the most potential right now, because that's like, you know, that's kind of where things are going. I feel like there's a large, you know, segment of the cryptocurrency space that's not necessarily hopping on kind of like the newest thing that's out there. They're still maybe kind of trapped into kind of an older mentality of kind of the cryptocurrency space as a whole. You know, I think that things are going to change. Like, we're already starting to see that with, you know, a decentralized exchange on top of a smart contract. Like, no humans involved whatsoever. You pretty much, you're just interacting with the Ethereum blockchain. You know, the issue is going to come into, and that's kind of what we're seeing, is gas prices. Like, I had to spend 16, like basically, you know, $1.10 to send some money with the gas prices that we were seeing. So let me see how that did. See if that went through. Like, you know, these should be yeah, like, I'm still not getting to go through though. Like, I'm still showing zero balances, and I sent that off a little while ago. So I'll have to look into this a little bit. Like, I've been playing around with it. So what's up, Crypto Kidda? Luca Bix. Oh, shit. Ether Shrimp Farm? No. I'll have to take a look into it after the stream. If someone could create a BitConnect-esque smart contract with full transparency trading bot and open source code, it would be game over. Yeah. You know, like, we're moving in that direction. We're moving into the direction where you're going to start to see some really interesting developments in the smart contract space. So I'm actually going to be meeting in about a half hour with a developer and a few other guys that are looking to hire some of the developers here in Vietnam to do some smart contract coding. So I think that's going to be a really interesting conversation. I'm looking forward to that. But got on my stream a little bit later than I normally do. But this is a good part of the city. But everyone's in working inside. It's kind of like, it's nice, but I can tell everyone's kind of camera shy. I don't want to go around with a camera. What is the update on BCCX now? I mean, there's like, I had saw the tweet that they had been talking about, where they were saying that they were going to be launching their decentralized exchange in like 2 weeks, and then they took the tweet down. Like, I saw rumors about that. I didn't really know what to believe because it wasn't there when I went to go look at it. But there's some people that did some videos that captured that, like Christino. I went and checked out his video, and so, you know, again, like, I don't think, you know, the developer behind BitConnect had malicious intent. I kind of refuse to believe that. I think there were some things that happened that were outside of a lot of people's control, and it just, you know, needed some time, maybe. But you know, I'm still waiting to see. Maybe we'll see something here soon. But like, you know, this is where the space is going, and you know, if they are in fact, you know, setting up a decentralized exchange that you know, is kind of moving in this direction, and they have a better way to kind of interact on, you know, as opposed to maybe some of these other ones. If it's a better user experience, and they could take over the decentralized exchange, and they were able to do something to kind of rectify, you know, a lot of the losses that people had in January, that could be, you know, that could be a situation where maybe they're able to kind of come back in a sense. But it's completely 100% out of my control. So I try not to think about it. I mean, like, people ask me about it, but you know, I think you know, I'm just kind of like, one of the things I've really kind of been doing, you know, is I think in last year I did a lot of stuff on CoinMarketCap, and that was, I think, a good way to kind of document for me, you know, what I was seeing in the market. And then like for me, really, like this DApp Radar has been kind of version 2.0. And there's, you know, these are interesting projects, like all three of these exchanges right here. And that's been one of the things that like this other, this dex.top platform was looking to interact with these already, you know, existing decentralized exchanges. Next, you kind of see games. You're starting to see, you know, these smart contracts with dividend earnings, you know, high, you know, percentages. Maybe we'll see one with a lower percentage that'll take over. Maybe we'll be seeing people just jump from contract to contract. The other category that I think is really interesting is the casinos, especially since what we're seeing right now is, at least what I'm seeing in the news, is gambling's been made legal by the federal government, or they're essentially turning that over to the states. I guess the states can rule on it, but it's not going to be a federal issue anymore. So legalizing gambling, at least, you know, in that sense, has a huge impact on the cryptocurrency market, because there's a lot of gambling sites that have kind of been starting to crop up, that may have once been looked at as illegal are now kind of legitimate. And those are going to be things that are going to help drive, you know, activity and volume in some of these new spaces. So you can see a lot of innovation, you know, behind that. I was watching a really interesting video. I'll see if I can find it. I can put up the link. Yeah. I didn't really see this interview. I'm going to leave this in the description below. But this was like an interesting video that had just came out, where it was kind of like a Fast Money, CNBC, and they're talking about, let's see if I can bring this up here. But they're talking about the implications of gambling and the way that these rulings actually are going to have an impact on the stock markets, and along with kind of the integration of Bitcoin and being able to do, you know, microtransactions. I think it's an interesting, it's an interesting development that's kind of going on. Off topic, when's the best time to visit Vietnam? Well, it's starting to get into the wet season. So, like, I think it's really good right now, but it's going to start getting really hot. But, I don't know, I like it. It feels good. You know, I sweat a lot, but I like the heat. And it's still pretty humid. Like, I guess you could say they have like a pollution problem, but it's kind of different because it's just a lot of motorbikes. They have a lot of motorbike traffic. I'll probably take maybe one more question or so, and then get off the stream. I've 10x'd in hydro in 1 week. %32 today. Mercatox, CoinX, Ether Delta, Token Store. I might have to buy this on Ether Delta. Yeah, I'm going to be getting into the alt markets more, because I'm already kind of over invested in the smart contracts, and those are really trending down right now. So I'm going to be basically riding those out. I'll be documenting, kind of letting you know at least how my performance has been with my picks and what I've done in that space. But the idea was also to get more into to use some of the dividend earnings to get into the alt currency markets, which I haven't done as much yet. So let me get into that a little bit. All right, guys. Appreciate you staying online. I'll catch you guys on the next one.